And you said to me,
Yeah.
and we're newly together. What'd you say?
We don't have insurance on the house.
I was like, oh, really?
Hi, I'm Steve Freepik,
I'm Heather.
and we've lived in the Keys for, well,
Almost 20 years.
20 years,
Yeah.
but together for
Yeah, for a long time.
a long time, 6 years.
Yeah.
A lot of times we get asked about hurricanes and, you know, how can you live in the Keys? You always have to worry about hurricanes and things like that. And a story that I like that almost changed my life or my feelings about this area even more
So much so.
was during Hurricane Irma. And we were recently together,
Yeah, we had just moved in together.
and Hurricane Irma was coming. They said it's going to be a level 3
We
or
thought
level
it was
4.
going to be a 3. We weren't sure, but yeah.
So we were discussing, all right, what are we going to do? We put most of the shutters up, and we're discussing whether we're going to stay back or not.
Yeah, which was a big thing because category 3 or 4, like there's a huge difference between 3 and 4.
Right. So so we heard it's, you know, they kept saying, all right, it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse. So we closed up our bar. Boarded up our bar. We put the hurricane shutters on everything except for one.
And we took literally every mattress in the house. Well, because I had lived through Wilma, which was like a huge
You stayed down here for a while.
flood in Wilma. I mean, it was supposedly category 3, but Wilma was like this huge flood where everybody's like, I mean, the water was everywhere, and I was lucky to live on a boat at the time because honestly, the houses were bad, but I was like so worried about the flooding because our house that we lived in, I mean, during Wilma, was flooded so badly that it was up past all the electrical. It was really bad. So we took every mattress, everything in the house, and we stacked it up like Princess and the Pea. Yeah.
So we got to that point, and then we boarded up the bar, and we're like, all right, I think we should go. Heather suggested just waiting because all the cars, you know, with the evacuations, the lines getting out of the Keys were just awful. So it was like bumper to bumper. It took forever to get out.
Absolutely.
And Heather said, I've been through this before because I was never down here during a big hurricane. I had real estate down here and places down here, but when I heard a hurricane's coming, I was out of here, no matter how big it was going to be.
And I said, can we just wait? Because they're slow moving and they can change, and I don't want to get stuck in the wrong place, right?
So we boarded up and we said, all right, let's have a drink. So we made a couple espresso martinis.
At the very last minute.
That is the quintessential Keys shot.
Yeah.
People waiting to the last minute and having a drink before they leave.
Yeah, because it's like either you're staying down here and you're going to party through it, or you're going to leave. And it's always like this edge of your seat.
And my son Doug lives in Fort Myers, so we talked about going there. And then they said, because they said it was going to hit in Miami, and then they said, well, now it's going to go to Fort Myers.
Yeah.
So we looked, all right, maybe we'll get a room in Miami. And we weren't sure. So we decided to go to her dad's in St. Pete. Went up there and we stayed with them, not knowing that the hurricane was eventually going to make it up there. But it wasn't as bad as it was down in the Keys.
But we're out there, and we're together, and we have like the cats, and we're staying up there, and we're waiting to hear the news. And I remember, like, we're lying in bed together, and we hear the latest news report, and it was like category 4 devastation.
Well, we see the Weather Channel and all the news.
It's
everything in Big Pine looked like it was wiped out. Big Pine's only 30 miles away from us.
And you said to me,
yeah,
and we're newly together, what'd you say?
we don't have insurance on the house.
I was like, oh, really?
She said, how do we not have
Wait a
insurance on the
minute.
house? Insurance is very expensive, and the insurance that we were paying for wind and flood was more than the mortgage payment. And so I was able to pay the mortgage off and cancel the insurance, which is a strategy that a lot of people use when they can.
No, it was a beautiful idea. It was a beautiful idea. It was just a bad timing.
Might have waited until December. So yeah, we're up there and we're seeing all this devastation. We're not sure if we even have a place to come home to.
No, we don't.
My sister Kay texted and said, hey, I went on Google Earth and I see that your roof's there, so you got a roof.
I love that. That's what happens is like other people can be like, oh, by the way, we can see your roofs. They're like, oh, that's cool. We didn't even think so.
But also, I had a canoe that was tied to a fence, and she said, I see a canoe or something in your driveway tied up. And I said, all right, so we didn't get such bad flooding. And then we had a good friend, Brian Russell, who, thank you, Brian, who took a boat down to the Keys because they weren't letting cars in. And we still weren't sure what to expect.
Because you couldn't drive down.
Right.
Because
So
no one was allowed to drive
he
down.
checked on our property and he said, I think you guys are in good shape. Doesn't look like there's much damage. So that made us feel a lot better.
Because nobody was allowed to drive down to the Keys at that point. It was 2 weeks before we could even get to drive down to check our properties.
Right.
They would not allow us in unless you went by boat.
So we're driving into the Keys, and it just looked like a nuclear bomb went off. Things on the road, there's appliances, there's
Boats across the road.
boats that are thrown across. There's everything. There were trailers, like from a trailer park, that are on the road.
Literally on the road, and then yes.
And we're all the way back, and we didn't even know if we were going to have electricity because they had a website we could check, but it wasn't ever accurate. So we didn't know if we were going to have electric or water or what to expect when we got here.
Looked like a war zone.
Yeah,
That's what it looked like. It was terrifying.
So we
But we knew we had a roof.
we knew
so
we had
that
a,
was
we knew
good.
we had the structure was there.
And even if we didn't, my mom said, you know what? Even if you don't have a house, at least you own the land. That's what she kept saying. She was like always trying to prop us up. Well, at least you own the land. I was like, all right, thank you, Mom. That's good. Yeah.
So we pulled in and we got out of the car and I heard the air conditioner.
Sound.
And I said, Heather, the air conditioner's going. We have electricity.
Oh my God. That was the best night of our life.
Oh man, we were
We were
elated.
so happy. I was like, I know, I felt bad to see all that, but just to know that our home was okay, our electricity was on.
But the fences and trees, everything's blown over. There was one of our trees was laying on our roof, but there's no damage to the roof.
I think it was all like recovery after that, but we were home, we were safe, and we made it. That was a big thing. No insurance, we were home, we were safe, and we were together.
We were together. And one of the best things to come out of that too was meeting our neighbors, because
Yes, it
I was working so much before that I never really got to know my neighbors.
Yeah.
And the people to the left of friends to the left of us, it's George and Tressa that own the Marathon Lady. The people behind us don't speak English at all.
We didn't know them at all. Yeah.
And our fences are down, and we can, because we have 8-foot fences, and we never even got to see anybody.
Yeah, and then we had
And
somewhere.
I'm in the back working on one of the fences, and my neighbors from behind me that didn't speak English started bringing tools over and just helping.
Yeah.
And then George on the other side, he calls me up and he said, hey, let's go to Home Depot and get some parts and fix these. And we worked together. It was
really
unbelievable. We became good friends with him now.
a connection, and
We do have that connection.
it is the whole thing about fences. You need to bring the fences down. We talk about that often.
Right.
Yeah. But it is incredible how a hurricane can just transform everybody's lives, and we were very, very lucky.
It made me proud to live here the way everybody, we tried to help everybody we could. They helped us.
Yep.
Everybody helped each other, and you just heard so many stories about that it just made me really proud to live here and not want to leave.
And